The city pulsed with restless energy in July 2025, its towering lights a trap for Sophia Bennett, a single 19-year-old heiress to Bennett Enterprises, a tech giant in AI and cybersecurity. Her penthouse, sleek with marble and city views, felt like a prison of expectations, her parents demanding she attend an elite college and marry Ethan Caldwell, a 22-year-old tech heir, to secure a merger. Single and craving authenticity, Sophia wanted love that saw her heart, not her wealth, so she slipped into jeans and a hoodie, her auburn hair loose, and enrolled as Sophie in a community art class, far from her family's world. The community center was a worn brick haven, its walls bright with murals. Sophia, single and new to art, chose an easel near the back, her canvas a blank hope for freedom. Her hands shook as she mixed paint, art a faded memory from childhood before her life became galas and boardrooms. A guy at the next easel, 21, single, with dark hair and storm gray eyes, smudged charcoal on his hands, his flannel worn. He was Jake Carter, his canvas a bold cityscape. He glanced at her shaky strokes and said her painting lacked soul, too stiff, like she was afraid to feel. Sophia bristled, saying his work was chaotic, trying too hard to be deep. Their words sparked irritation, a mutual dislike flaring as they glared, the room's chatter fading. Clara, the instructor with gray braids, told everyone to paint what they felt. Sophia's strokes grew bolder, a messy blue swirl of longing, while Jake's canvas darkened with jagged lines. They worked in tense silence, stealing glances, their dislike tinged with curiosity. After class, Clara paired them to clean brushes, forcing them together. Jake said she should loosen up, art wasn't about perfection. Sophia snapped that he should focus on his own mess. But as their hands brushed over the sink, a spark flickered, their eyes meeting briefly, softening the edge of their argument. The next week, they painted side by side, their silence less hostile. Jake, still guarded, mentioned he was single, living with his 16-year-old sister, Mia, after their father's death last year. He said his dad was his biggest fan, his voice tight with grief. Sophia, single and cautious, said she was trying to find herself, her words a half-truth hiding her wealth. The emotional pain of her secret weighed heavy, but Jake's vulnerability cracked her defenses. She felt a pull, despite their rocky start, a mature spark for someone so young. He suggested a diner nearby, saying Mia loved their milkshakes, and Sophia, hesitant but drawn, agreed to meet. The diner was a cozy throwback, its neon sign buzzing, booths worn but warm. Sophia arrived, her driver parked blocks away to keep her secret. Jake and Mia were there, Mia a lanky teen with dark curls and a sketchpad. Jake teased Mia as the real artist, ruffling her hair, and Mia rolled her eyes, showing Sophia a starry city drawing. Sophia laughed, the feel-good moment easing her dislike for Jake. They ordered milkshakes, chocolate for Jake, strawberry for Sophia, vanilla for Mia, and talked over sticky glasses. Jake's care for Mia shone, his stories of their dad's art lessons laced with pain. Sophia shared edited truths, summer camp memories, avoiding her wealth. Mia's chatter about college applications made Sophia feel her age, a single 19-year-old caught between worlds. A man at the counter, a family friend, glanced over, his eyes narrowing. Sophia's heart raced, the suspense of being recognized spiking. She stepped outside, texting her driver to stay hidden, her hands trembling. Back at the booth, Jake and Mia sketched on napkins, a feel-good scene that grounded her. Jake asked if she was okay, his tone softer, their initial dislike fading. Sophia said she just needed air, the pain of her lies sharp. Mia gave her a star sketch, saying it was for her, and Sophia's throat tightened, the emotional weight of their trust heavy. At a park the next week, Mia sketched nearby as Sophia and Jake shared coffee from a thermos. The city's noise was a soft hum. Jake opened up about his dad, a carpenter who sketched, his sudden death a wound still raw. He said he was keeping his art alive for Mia, his voice low. Sophia's heart ached, his pain mirroring her longing for freedom. She admitted she was running from expectations, her voice trembling, wanting something real like this moment. Jake took her hand, his touch steady, their initial hate softening into something deeper, a mature connection despite their youth. A woman passed, a gala acquaintance, and Sophia turned away, the suspense of her secret tightening. At Mia's school art showcase, the gym buzzed with teen art. Sophia blended in with Jean's, but her heart pounded as another family friend appeared. Jake stood by Mia's cityscape, his pride warm. Sophia smiled, but tension lingered from their earlier clash. Jake said she seemed jumpy, his voice gentle, their dislike nearly gone. Sophia said it was just crowds, her lie a growing pain. Mia hugged her, showing a drawing of them three, a feel-good moment deepening her guilt. In her penthouse, Sophia stared at the city, clutching Mia's drawing. Her parents texted, demanding she attend a gala with Ethan. They said it was her future, their words cold. The pain of their control was heavy, and whispers of a data breach at Bennett Enterprises added suspense. Tears fell, the emotional weight of her double life crushing, her love for Jake and Mia growing despite their rocky start. Jake, in his apartment, tucked Mia in, her sketches glowing. Sophia's laughter, her ease with Mia, lingered, but her hesitations nagged him. His dad's death had made trust hard, and their argument at the art class still stung, though his dislike was fading. He texted her, saying Mia liked her, and he was starting to. The message was a hope, but the suspense of her secrets loomed, a shadow over their growing love. At the diner, alone this time, the air was heavy. Jake said she was holding back, his voice firm but kind, needing her to be real. Sophia's throat tightened, saying it was complicated, the pain of her lie a dagger. She couldn't confess, the fear of losing him too great. A man watched from across the street, Ethan, his smile cold. Sophia's heart froze, the suspense of his threat a warning. Their hands touched, a feel-good anchor, but the emotional pain and suspense of her hidden truth set the stage for a love tested by fire. The city's neon glow felt like a spotlight on Sophia Bennett's guilt as she stood outside Jake Carter's apartment building in late July 2025, the summer air heavy with tension. Single at 19, a freshman at an elite college, she was the heiress to Bennett Enterprises, her life controlled by her parents' demands to marry Ethan Caldwell, a 22-year-old tech heir, for a merger. As Sophie, she had found something real with Jake, a single 21-year-old barista and artist. Despite their first meeting at the art class where they argued, his critique of her paintings sparking irritation, her sharp reply fueling mild hate. Their dislike had softened through shared brushes and diner visits with Mia, his 16-year-old sister, but her lie was unraveling, Ethan's cold gaze at the diner a warning. Sophia texted Jake to meet at the park, saying they needed to talk, her heart pounding with the pain of what she was about to do. Jake arrived at the quiet park, his flannel familiar, his storm gray eyes wary, Mia at a friend's house. Sophia stood by a bench, her hoodie plain, her posture tense. Jake said she had been distant, his voice low, tinged with the grief of his father's death a year ago, asking what was wrong. Sophia's throat tightened, the suspense of her confession a cold knot. She said she wasn't Sophie, but Sophia Bennett, heiress to Bennett Enterprises, explaining she hid her identity to be seen for herself, not her money, apologizing with tears in her eyes. Jake's face hardened, shock turning to wounded anger. He said she lied, every moment, milkshakes, painting Mia, letting him believe she was like them, his voice sharp, his scars stark in the dusk. He said he had shared his dad's death, his fight for Mia, and she gave him a fake name, his hands clenching, the pain of betrayal cutting deep. Sophia stepped closer, tears streaming, saying it was real, every laugh, every sketch, begging him to understand she lied to be loved for herself, scared of losing him. Her words trembled, the emotional pain of his rejection a physical ache, but Jake's eyes were cold, his grief for his father mixing with this new wound. He said he couldn't do lies, his voice breaking, turning to walk into the dusk. Sophia sank onto the bench, sobs tearing through her, the pain of losing him and Mia a dagger, sharpened by feel-good memories of their diner booth, brushes touching Mia's starry sketches. Jake's apartment was a dim refuge, his canvases a reminder of dreams now tainted. He sat on the couch, Mia sketching in her room, her music a faint hum. The pain of Sophia's lie echoed his father's sudden death, a heart attack that stole his biggest supporter. Sophia's laughter, her ease with Mia, had been a light for a single 21-year-old, but she was an heiress, her world a chasm he couldn't cross. He opened his sketchbook, finding a drawing of her from their park date, her eyes soft under the stars, a feel-good memory now a knife twisting with betrayal. He slammed it shut, anger and love warring in his chest. Mia poked her head out, curls wild, asking if he was okay, her teen intuition sharp. Jake told her about Sophia's lie, her real identity as an heiress. Mia frowned, saying Sophia was nice to her, maybe just lost. Jake's heart was guarded, the pain of his father's loss making trust fragile, saying she wasn't one of them, but the ache of losing her lingered, a mature love he wasn't ready to let go. Sophia returned to her penthouse, the city's lights a glittering cage. Her roommate Emma, a fellow freshman, sat with her, offering snacks and blunt advice, saying she had to tell Jake the truth, that lies don't hold love, but she couldn't give up. Sophia said she broke him, tears falling, clutching Mia's star sketch, saying he wouldn't text back, that she had never felt so alone. The emotional pain was suffocating, a reminder of her parents' control, Ethan's ambition. She said she loved Jake and Mia, that they felt like home. Emma squeezed her hand, saying to show him she was real. Her family tightened their grip. At a dinner, her father Richard sat with Ethan, his smirk chilling her. Richard said the company was under attack, data breaches, sabotage, Ethan's merger their salvation, telling Sophia to stop her games, his voice stern. Ethan's gaze was predatory, a suspenseful hint of his role in the breaches. Sophia's chest tightened, the pain of their expectations heavy, the suspense of Ethan's motives a growing threat. The next morning, Sophia's phone buzzed with a news alert, Mia's school caught in a funding scandal tied to Bennett Enterprises, accusations of misallocated grants threatening its art club. Her heart sank, Ethan's doing, a strike to hurt Jake through Mia. The suspense of his cruelty was a cold grip. The emotional pain of knowing Jake and Mia were collateral in her family's war unbearable. She drove to the school, where Jake was meeting the principal, his face etched with worry. Jake saw her, his voice icy, saying her company's name was on this, asking what was happening. Sophia said it was Ethan, not her, targeting him to get to her, promising to fix it, her voice desperate. His eyes were hard, the pain of his distrust a fresh wound. Mia ran up, hugging Sophia, unaware of the tension, saying she came, her smile bright. Sophia's throat tightened, the emotional weight of Mia's trust a dagger. Jake looked away, his silence cutting deeper than words. Jake sat in his apartment, Mia sketching beside him, her art club at risk. The pain of Sophia's lie, layered over his father's death, made him question everything. He remembered her with Mia, laughing over milkshakes, a feel-good moment now tainted. Was she part of this? His heart wanted to trust, but fear for Mia's future held him back. He hugged her, vowing to protect her, the suspense of the scandal a shadow over the love he still felt. Sophia met a private investigator, a contact from her family's security team, to trace the scandal. Evidence pointed to Ethan's firm, funneling funds to discredit Bennett Enterprises and frame Jake's community. The suspense of his reach was terrifying, but Sophia's resolve hardened. She texted Jake, saying she was fighting for him and Mia, asking him to believe her. No reply came, the pain of his silence a deep ache. She recalled their park coffee, his hand in hers, a feel-good memory fueling her fight. The mature love she felt for Jake, rooted in vulnerability at 19, was worth everything, despite the suspense of Ethan's next move and the pain of their broken trust. The city's pulse was a faint hum in early August 2025, its summer haze a contrast to the storm in Jake Carter's heart. Single at 21, he stood in his cramped apartment, the air thick with paint and coffee, his sketchbook open to a drawing of Sophia Bennett, Sophie as he had known her, her eyes bright from their diner date, now a painful memory. She was a 19-year-old heiress to Bennett Enterprises, not the single college freshman who had laughed with his sister Mia and painted beside him after their argument at the art class, where her sharp words had sparked mutual dislike. Their breakup in the park, her tearful confession of her true identity, had shattered his trust, a wound echoing the grief of his father's death a year ago. The emotional pain was raw, a mature ache for a girl he had started to love, despite their rocky start. Mia's school funding scandal, tied to Sophia's company, threatened her art club, deepening his fear. Sophia's plea to fix it lingered, but his heart was guarded, the pain of betrayal too fresh. Jake threw himself into barista shifts, the hiss of espresso a distraction from his thoughts. Mia, 16 and fierce, noticed his silence, her sketches scattered across their table. She asked what was wrong, her curls bouncing. Jake told her about Sophia's lie, his voice tight. Mia said Sophia didn't fake liking them, maybe she was scared. Jake's fear for Mia's future, tied to the scandal, kept him wary, the pain of his father's sudden death making trust a fragile thing. At the community art class, he painted alone, his canvas dark with sharp lines. Clara, the instructor with gray braids, said his work showed a broken heart, asking who hurt him. Jake shrugged, but every stroke was Sophia, her smile, her vulnerability, the emotional pain a quiet agony, a longing for the girl who felt like home, despite their initial dislike. Sophia stood in her penthouse, the city's skyline a glittering reminder of her trapped life. News of Mia's school scandal, orchestrated by Ethan Caldwell, burned on her phone screen. Her private investigator traced it to Ethan's firm, a move to hurt Jake and force her into a merger marriage. The emotional pain of losing Jake and Mia was crushing, a void echoing her years under her parents' control. She clutched Mia's star sketch from the art club, a feel-good relic now bringing tears, the weight of her lie a constant wound. Her roommate Emma sat with her, offering tea and tough advice, saying she told Jake the truth, a start, and to fight for love. Sophia said she hurt him, tears falling, saying he wouldn't text back, feeling so alone. The emotional pain of her double life was suffocating, the memory of their park bench, sharing coffee, his hand warm, a bittersweet anchor. Emma said to show him she was real, squeezing her hand. Her family's pressure tightened. At a dinner, her father Richard sat with Ethan, his cold smile chilling her. Richard said the company was bleeding, data breaches, Ethan's merger their stability, telling Sophia to stop her nonsense. Her mother Elizabeth added it was for her own good, her voice soft. The pain of their rejection was a deep cut, Ethan's gaze a suspenseful menace, hinting at his role in the breaches. Jake attended Mia's school art event, a fundraiser to save the art club. The gym was bright with teen drawings, students and parents milling about. Mia stood by her cityscape painting, her grin a feel-good light in Jake's darkness. Sophia appeared, her jeans and hoodie blending in, her eyes red with exhaustion. Jake's heart lurched, torn between love and hurt, saying he didn't expect her. Sophia said she was there for Mia and him, her voice soft, holding a starry canvas for the auction. Mia ran over, hugging Sophia, pulling her to the display, saying she came. They stood by Mia's painting, their arms brushing, a fragile echo of their art class days, their initial dislike fading. Sophia said she was trying to stop Ethan, behind the scandal, apologizing, her voice low. Jake said Mia was his priority, needing to protect her, his voice raw, but Sophia's sincerity softened him. Mia laughed, smudging paint on Sophia's cheek, and Jake wiped it off, his touch lingering, a mature spark of hope at 21, a feel-good moment despite their past argument. Their fragile reunion was tested by Ethan's next move. A viral post hit social media, tagged Sophia Bennett, with photos from a gala and the art class, captioned "Heiress faking it with a barista." Comments were brutal, liar, rich girl slumming. Jake's phone buzzed with the post, his stomach twisting, the suspense of Ethan's attack a cold grip. Mia's school was named, drawing online threats from angry parents, endangering her art club. The emotional pain of Sophia's exposed secret, Mia caught in the fallout, was a fresh wound. Sophia met Jake at the cafe, their old haunt, saying she didn't want this. Ethan was trying to ruin them, her voice desperate. Her eyes were haunted, the pain of her exposed life mirroring Jake's fear for Mia. She said she'd protect Mia, with evidence against Ethan. Jake asked how, his voice sharp. Sophia outlined her plan, exposing Ethan's financial ties. Jake nodded, his trust flickering, a mature step toward healing at 19 and 21, a feel-good moment clashing with his distrust. Sophia confronted her parents at their office, the corporate conspiracy worsening. Leaked emails confirmed Ethan's firm was behind the breaches, but Richard dismissed her, saying she was naive, Ethan their stability. The pain of their rejection was a deep ache, her family choosing profit over her. She left, tears streaming, the suspense of Ethan's power a looming threat. At Jake's apartment, they hosted Mia's art club friends for a sketching night, a feel-good moment as laughter filled the space. Sophia helped Mia mix colors, their bond a balm to Jake's fear. A news alert interrupted, threats against Mia's school tied to Sophia's name. Jake's face hardened, the emotional pain of his sister's danger overwhelming, saying this had to stop. Sophia said it would, her hand on his, promising she was with him. Their eyes locked, a mature love rekindling, but the suspense of Ethan's next move and the pain of their fractured trust hung heavy, a storm they'd face together. The city's skyline loomed through the haze of late August 2025, its lights a reminder of the divide Sophia Bennett navigated. Single at 19, she stood in her penthouse, now a hub for her fight against Ethan Caldwell's conspiracy threatening Bennett Enterprises. The viral posts exposing her as Sophie, a college freshman, had fueled public scorn, but the real danger was to Jake Carter, a single 21-year-old barista and artist, and his sister Mia, caught in Ethan's schemes. Their reunion at Mia's school art event had rekindled their love, a mature bond despite their initial argument and dislike at the art class, where their sharp words sparked tension. The suspense of Ethan's next move was a tightening grip, the emotional pain of her family's rejection, pushing her toward Ethan for a merger, a deep cut. Jake's presence, his steady hand and storm-gray eyes, was a lifeline, a feel-good anchor after their rocky start. Jake stood in his small apartment, the smell of paint and coffee grounding him as he sketched with Mia, her starry drawings pinned to the walls. The school funding scandal, tied to Sophia's company, had endangered Mia's art club, and now online threats named her directly. The emotional pain of his sister's vulnerability was a raw wound, echoing the helplessness of his father's death from a heart attack a year ago. Sophia's promise to stop Ethan, her sincerity at the cafe, stirred his heart, but fear for Mia kept his trust cautious, their initial dislike a faint memory. He hugged Mia, vowing to protect her, the suspense of the threats a shadow over his love for Sophia. The crisis erupted at Mia's school the next morning. Sophia was meeting Jake for a club meeting when alarms blared, paint cans and broken windows littering the art room, a deliberate vandalism attack, police later confirmed, with chemical traces linked to Ethan's rival firm. Students screamed, and Jake's heart raced as he ran to find Mia, Sophia close behind, the suspense of the moment suffocating. They found Mia safe with her teacher, shaken but unharmed, clutching her sketchbook. Jake held her, his voice breaking, asking Sophia if this was her world's doing, his eyes blazing with fear and pain. Sophia said no, tears streaming, saying it was Ethan targeting Jake to get to her, promising to stop him. Her desperation, the way she gripped Mia's hand, cracked Jake's defenses, their past argument fading. They took Mia to the park, away from the chaos, sitting on a bench as she sketched to calm down. The feel-good moment of their makeshift family, Sophia helping Mia shade a star, eased Jake's fear, but the suspense of Ethan's escalating attacks loomed. Jake said they needed proof, his voice strained but resolute, for Mia's sake. Sophia nodded, her resolve fierce, saying she had evidence, financial records, emails, and they would expose Ethan. Their eyes locked, a mature love rekindling at 19 and 21, a commitment to fight together despite their youth and initial dislike. Sophia met her private investigator at a quiet cafe, reviewing documents tying Ethan's firm to the vandalism and school scandal. A whistleblower confirmed Ethan had orchestrated data breaches to weaken Bennett Enterprises and force Sophia into his orbit. The suspense of his reach was chilling, but Sophia's anger burned brighter. She shared the evidence with Jake at his apartment, their hands brushing over papers, a feel-good echo of their art class days, their early tension gone. Mia slept nearby, her presence a reminder of their stakes. They rallied their community, Clara from art class, Mia's friends, school parents. Clara organized a mural protest outside the school, painting a vibrant call for truth, a feel-good act drawing local media. Sophia and Jake joined, their brushes blending bright hues, their teamwork a quiet intimacy healing past wounds. Sophia said she was all in, paint smudging her cheek, her voice soft. Jake wiped it off, his touch lingering, a mature promise of trust rebuilt, their initial dislike a distant memory. Ethan confronted them at the mural site, his suit crisp, his smile venomous, saying Sophia couldn't win, her family needed his merger, telling her to walk away from Jake. The crowd tensed, phones recording, the suspense of his threat sharp. Jake stepped forward, saying Sophia wasn't his, they had proof. Sophia held up the whistleblower's documents, the crowd cheering, Ethan's face paling as he retreated, his power crumbling. The suspense of his desperation lingered, a warning of his next move. Sophia faced her parents at their estate, the evidence spread on their dining table. Her mother Elizabeth was pale, her hands trembling, diagnosed with a heart condition, the doctor warned, triggered by stress. The pain of seeing her mother frail, a woman who had shaped her life, was a deep wound. Her father Richard softened, saying they pushed her toward Ethan for the company, admitting they were wrong. Elizabeth gripped Sophia's hand, saying to choose her heart, tears in her eyes. The emotional reconciliation was a healing ache, a bridge to her family despite the pain of their past control. Sophia returned to Jake's apartment, finding him sketching with Mia, their laughter a feel-good haven. She joined, adding stars to Mia's cityscape, their bond a quiet joy. The pain of her mother's health scare lingered, and she confided in Jake, her voice trembling, saying she almost lost her, couldn't lose him too. Jake pulled her close, his kiss fierce, saying she wouldn't. Their love, tested by fire, was stronger, a mature commitment at their young ages, rooted in shared pain and hope, their initial dislike overcome. The suspense of Ethan's final move hung over them, but their unity was a shield ready for the fight. The mural went viral, shifting public opinion, and the school's art club was saved. Sophia and Jake met with the media, presenting evidence against Ethan's firm, the conspiracy unraveling. The emotional pain of the ordeal, Mia's danger, her mother's illness, was heavy, but their teamwork was a feel-good triumph. They spent the evening at the park, Mia sketching ahead, Sophia and Jake holding hands, their love a steady anchor. The suspense of Ethan's defeat was a victory, but Sophia knew he'd strike again, setting the stage for a final reckoning. The city glowed softly under an October 2025 sky, its autumn chill carrying hope for Sophia Bennett and Jake Carter. Single at 19 and 21, they stood in their shared apartment, a cozy space filled with canvases, Mia's starry sketches pinned to the fridge, a scarf from their first diner date draped over a chair, their initial argument and dislike at the art class a distant memory. The vandalism attack at Mia's school, orchestrated by Ethan Caldwell, had been stopped, the corporate conspiracy against Bennett Enterprises exposed through their community's efforts. The emotional pain lingered, Sophia's worry for her mother Elizabeth, whose heart condition weighed heavily, a raw wound making their love feel fragile. Jake's trust, rebuilt through their fight, was a mature bond despite their youth, as they prepared for his gallery opening, Open Canvas, a dream born from their art and resilience after their rocky start. Sophia stood in the apartment, her auburn hair catching the morning light, helping Jake pack sketches for the gallery. His dark hair fell into his storm gray eyes as he grinned, a feel-good spark easing her heart. He said Mia was excited, telling everyone her brother was an artist. Sophia laughed, but her smile faltered, the pain of her mother's health scare sharp. She had always leaned on Elizabeth's strength, now fearing her loss. Jake noticed, taking her hand, asking if she was okay. Sophia said she was scared for her mom, who would love their art, their love, her voice thick. Jake pulled her close, his embrace steady, their mature love a balm to her grief at 19, the emotional weight heavy but bearable with him. The gallery, a converted warehouse, buzzed with anticipation as the opening neared. Sophia balanced college classes with organizing the event, hanging Jake's cityscapes beside Mia's vibrant stars. Their community, Clara from art class, Mia's friends, school parents, pitched in, their chatter a feel-good hum. Suspense struck when a legal notice arrived, Ethan accusing Jake of fraud, claiming Open Canvas was funded by misappropriated Bennett Enterprises funds. The emotional pain of Ethan's relentless attacks was a fresh wound, Jake's face paling, saying this could ruin everything, Mia counting on him. Sophia's resolve flared, her love for Jake and Mia afire, saying Ethan wouldn't win. They had proof, grants, her company's records, promising to fight together. The suspense of the lawsuit was a dark cloud, their unity stronger, a mature commitment despite their young ages and early dislike. They met with Clara and Mia at the cafe, their old haunt, reviewing financial records. A paper trail showed Ethan's firm fabricated the fraud claims, a desperate bid to discredit Jake. Clara launched a social media campaign, sharing Jake's art and community testimonials, a feel-good counter to Ethan's lies. Sophia and Jake worked late, their hands brushing over sketches, a quiet intimacy echoing their diner nights, their initial argument forgotten. Jake said Sophia was his anchor, paint smudging his scar. Sophia kissed him, their love a shield against the storm. Ethan confronted them at the gallery days before the opening, his suit pristine, his smile venomous, saying Sophia couldn't escape, her family needed his merger, Jake and nobody. The suspense of his threat was sharp, the community gathered, students, artists, locals, phones recording. Sophia held up the evidence, saying Ethan's lies were over. Jake stood beside her, saying she was with him, his tone final. The crowd cheered, Ethan's face crumpling as he left, his power broken. The victory was bittersweet. Sophia visited her mother in the hospital, Elizabeth's heart condition stable but fragile, the pain of her frailty a raw ache as Sophia held her hand. Elizabeth said they were wrong about Ethan, proud of Sophia's real love, her voice weak. Richard nodded, saying to live for herself. The emotional reconciliation was a healing wound, a bridge to her family despite the pain of their past. The gallery opening was a triumph, the warehouse alive with color and chatter. Jake's paintings, cities, storms, a portrait of Sophia and Mia, drew gasps, a critic calling him a rising star. Mia ran through, her star painting displayed, her grin a feel-good light. Sophia stood beside Jake, their hands linked, their love a quiet strength. She whispered they built this, her eyes shining. Jake kissed her, the crowd's applause a joyful hum, their mature bond a testament to their journey at 19 and 21, their early dislike overcome. They took a road trip the next week, a feel-good escape to rural towns, sketching fields and rivers with Mia. By a quiet lake, Jake knelt, a simple ring in his hand, asking Sophia to be his partner, saying she and Mia were his world, his voice trembling. Tears streamed down her face, the emotional weight of their trials, her lie, Mia's danger, her mother's health, making the moment sweeter. She said yes, kissing him, their love a promise forged in fire. Months later, they held a commitment ceremony in a small park, Mia scattering petals, Clara and their community cheering. Sophia wore a simple dress, her mother's locket around her neck, the pain of Elizabeth's illness a soft ache, eased by her presence. They moved into a shared apartment, supporting Mia's college dreams, her sketches brightening their walls. The community unveiled a mural, art over lies, a vibrant cityscape, Sophia and Jake's brushes adding final strokes. The crowd roared, a feel-good celebration of their love and resilience. That night, on their balcony, the city's lights glowed softly, no longer a cage but a canvas. Jake said they were enough, his arm around her. Sophia nodded, her heart full, their mature love transcending every divide. The pain of their journey, grief, betrayal, fear, had built a life unbreakable, a happy ending painted in their colors.